The two steps necessary for proper floor coating adhesion are removal of surface contaminants and a creation of a rough surface or profile for good epoxy adhesion. Visit EpoxyCoat.com for more detailed and printable surface preparation procedures. Step 1. Sweep the surface to remove loose debris and scrape off excess grease and oil. Power blow entire floor surface area. Step 2. Typically, old concrete floors have contaminants which must be removed prior to coating. Use a diluted degreaser and hot water. You should scrub those areas vigorously. Heavily contaminated or oily areas should be concentrated and repeated if necessary. Step 3. Be careful and wear protective gloves and safety glasses when working with the acid granules. Pour the prepackaged granules into 5 quarts of cold water in a plastic bucket or pump sprayer and mix until diluted. This will yield sufficient premix to cover 500 square feet. Step 4. Cleaning a 10 by 10 section at a time, dampen the surface with a fine spray of water first, and using the sprayer, apply the premix evenly over the surface. Scrub the premix into the surface with a stiff bristle broom. Move to the next 10 by 10 area and continue without rinsing. When finished, triple rinse the entire area. After the surface is dried, check any glossy or oily areas by applying a few drops of water. If water does not penetrate quickly, re-etch the affected areas. If additional prep is necessary, you can use muriatic acid or diamond grinding. To remove existing concrete sealers, we recommend diamond grinding. You can purchase diamond wheels on our website at www.epoxy-coat.com. Allow the floor to dry before coating, approximately 6 hours. A power blower can be used to assist in the evaporation of the remaining water. Once your floor is dry, rub your fingers on the concrete and check your fingers for a film. If there is no film, you are prepared for the application of the coating. Remember, you must remove contaminants and create a profile before coating, or your coating will not adhere correctly. Shot blasting and or diamond grinding is preferred for industrial and commercial installation floors or residential floors if you have that available. Note, in previous coated concrete surfaces, you should consider sanding the floor with 120 grit sandpaper using a drywall sanding pole after applying the preparation solution. You should damp mop the floor after sanding prior to coating. Where coating is peeling, you must remove all loose coating by scraping or grinding. Diamond grinding can be used as well. Rinse and dry your mixing kit bucket with a clean rag prior to mixing. Install the supplied mixing tool into a high-speed drill. Mix part A of the epoxy coat in its original bucket for 2 minutes. Pour part B into the mixing bucket to the first line on the measuring stick. Then pour part A to the second line on the same stick. Follow the guidelines for the recommended mixing and coverage on the measuring stick. Remember to measure by volume. Do not mix more epoxy coat than you can apply in 15 minutes. Be aware that the mixing stick for the half kit is specifically for that kit, and the mixing stick for the full kit is for that kit only. Additionally, the measuring sticks for both kits have 2 sides, one for a single batch and one for a double batch. Make sure you're consistent when adding part A and B, that the stick and the side of the stick is used appropriately. Mix thoroughly with the mixing tool for 3 minutes, paying close attention to the mixing all around the bucket sides and raising and lowering the mixing tool. Due to the fact that epoxy coat is 100% solid epoxy, you must mix it thoroughly so that it will properly cross-link. Mixing must be very thorough or the coating will not cure correctly. Please note, epoxy coat will dry faster in large volumes, so as soon as you mix part A and B, pour it on the concrete surface. This will add to your working time. Do not leave the epoxy coat in the bucket after part A and B are mixed. Immediately pour them on the concrete floor. Note, if more than one kit is purchased, you should batch mix. That means mix together the part A's prior to mixing with part B. This is done for proper color stability and consistency. Starting in the furthest corner of the room, pour the mixed epoxy coat contents in an 8-inch wide line parallel to and approximately 2 feet from the back wall. Using the kit brush, cut the perimeter of the walls or any other obstruction that may be hard to roll. Using the kit squeegee, perpendicular to the poured line of epoxy, Draw the epoxy from the back wall with the squeegee until there is no more wet epoxy to draw back. Continue to squeegee this product down the line until complete. With a kit roller perpendicular to the squeegee application, roll the epoxy until even and consistent. After back rolling, go to the next section, squeegee and back roll. After the second section is back rolled, go back to the first section and re-back roll it completely, approximately 10 minutes after the first back roll. Divide the kit flakes into the number of section applications you will perform. In small amounts, sprinkle the kit flakes into the floor by evenly throwing the flakes into the air 5 feet or higher and allowing them to fall into the wet coating on the first section only. Remember, only flake a section after the second back roll is complete. If additional non-skip flooring is desired, apply the kit's aluminum oxide by sprinkling small amounts of aluminum oxide into the floor by evenly throwing the aluminum oxide into the air 5 feet or higher and allowing them to fall into the wet coating. Note, aluminum oxide will make the floor more slip resistant, but will make it harder to clean. It should be used according to your desired needs. If you desire, you can purchase the spike shoes online at EpoxyCoat.com. This will allow you to walk throughout the coating and flake chip more evenly. Remember, flake chipping and aluminum oxide will be even if you throw small amounts into the air. You can even rebound it off of the ceiling and create a more even appearance. Concrete floor surface areas are heavily contaminated and may need more than one coat of EpoxyCoat. We recommend that you apply EpoxyCoat within 18 hours for proper intercoat bonding. Because EpoxyCoat is designed to be a thick layer, please use the squeegee to apply it for a smooth, even surface. This will also make back rolling with a supplied paint roller easier and prepare the surface for your colored flakes and non-skid. Contamination in concrete can sometimes cause what's called fish eyes in the epoxy coating. Fish eyes look like little circles or pockets on the surface. If you see any fish eyes, we recommend that you thoroughly backroll the surface before you apply your flakes or the aluminum oxide non-slip material. If you still have fish eyes, backroll it again to get a smooth, even surface. You may need to repeat this step several times, about 10 minutes apart, to eliminate the fish eyes. When the surface is smooth, apply the flakes or non-skid. Bubbles can also be present in EpoxyCoat because of outgassing from the concrete. If this occurs, wait 15 to 20 minutes to see if the bubbles subside on their own. If they don't, we recommend that you take a leaf blower and blow the surface to relieve the tension and pop the bubbles. You may use this technique even after the flake chips and aluminum oxide have been applied to the floor. Dry time for foot traffic is 18 hours and heavy traffic 24 hours at room temperatures, 70 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, regardless of thickness. Dry time is longer at cooler temperatures. Temperatures and humidity can affect dry time. As with many high-performance floor coatings, full chemical resistant is 3 days. Remaining epoxy coat can be disposed by pouring the remaining contents, both part A's and B's, mixing them for 3 minutes, and let them harden in the bucket. Dispose of in accordance with local, state, and federal laws. Recommended floor cleaning solution is EpoxyCoat C900 cleaning solution. It can be purchased online at epoxy-coat.com. Some floors may be cleaned with a mild detergent and water with normal mopping. EpoxyCoat recommends you applying flake chips. Flake chips achieve many things. They make the coating look a lot better and create a cleanable, slip-resistant surface. EpoxyCoat recommends you wear rubber gloves and safety glasses when using EpoxyCoat products. If you get any of the EpoxyCoat Clean and Prep solution on you, simply rinse your hands with soap and water. Read all instructions thoroughly before application.